Om Shanti. This is the Sakar Murli of the 21st of October 2023. Essence: Sweet children, you will be able to stay in constant happiness when you have full faith that these are the versions of God alone that you listen to, and that God Himself is teaching you. Question: according to the drama, what plans and preparations is everyone making? Answer: at this time, everyone is making plans to produce so much grain in so many years and make Delhi and Bharat into New Delhi and New Bharat. However, they continue to make preparations for death. The garland of death is around the neck of the whole world. It is said, human beings want one thing and something else happens. The Father has His own plan, and human beings have their own plans. Song: someone made me belong to him and taught me how to smile. Om Shanti. Incorporeal God speaks through the body of Brahma. You should make this first thing firm. It is not a human being teaching you here. Incorporeal God is teaching you. He is always called the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, Shiva. In Benares, they have a temple to Shiva. First of all, you souls should have the faith that it is the unlimited Father who is teaching you. Until human beings have this faith, they are of no use, they are worth shells. By knowing the Father, you become worth diamonds. It is the people of Bharat who become worth shells, and the people of Bharat who become worth diamonds. The Father comes and changes human beings into deities. Until you have the faith that God is teaching you, it is as though, while sitting in this college, you don't understand anything. That mercury of happiness just doesn't rise. He is our most beloved Father. He is the one whom people call out to on the path of devotion at times of sorrow. O Supreme Soul, have mercy. Souls say this. Because people have physical fathers, they don't understand which father they remember. A soul speaks through his mouth. This is my physical father, and that is my parlokic father. You have now become soul conscious, whereas the rest of the human beings are body conscious. They don't know about souls or the Supreme Soul. No one has the knowledge that we souls are children of the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. The Father first of all inspires you to have this faith. God speaks, I teach you Raj Yoga. Forget your bodies and all your bodily relations. Have the faith that you are souls and remember me, your Father. Neither a human being nor Krishna, etc. can say this. This Maya is false, the body is false, and the whole world is false. Not a single one is true or honest. There isn't a single false being in the land of truth. Lakshmi and Narayan were the masters of the land of truth. They were worthy of worship. The people of Bharat have now become corrupt in their religion and corrupt in their actions. This is why it is called corrupt Bharat. Elevated Bharat exists in the Golden Age. Everyone there always smiles. They are never ill or diseased. Here, although they say that so-and-so went to heaven, no one knows anything. The kingdom of this time is like a mirage. There is the story of a deer. It thought there was water there, but when it tried to enter the lake, it became trapped in quicksand. The kingdom of this time is like a bog. The more they decorate it, the more degraded it becomes. They continue to say that there will be a lot of grain in Bharat, that there will be this and that, etc., but nothing happens. This is referred to as human beings wanting one thing and something else happening. The Father says, "This is no kingdom. A kingdom is where there is a king and a queen. This is the rule of people over people. It is an irreligious, unrighteous kingdom. In Bharat there used to be the kingdom of the original eternal deities. They have now become corrupt in their religion and corrupt in their actions. There is no other country like this where they don't know their own religion. It is said, religion is might. There used to be the kingdom of deities over the whole world. They are now completely poverty-stricken. They receive so much aid from outside. They have the aid of physical power, whereas you have the aid of the power of yoga. You children know that the Father is the most beloved, from whom you receive the inheritance of constant happiness for 21 births. There is never any mention of sorrow or crying, etc. Neither is there untimely death, nor do they give birth to 4 or 5 children at the same time, as they do nowadays. You can see some don't have anything to eat, and so they ask for there to be birth control. Human beings want one thing and something else happens. They think that there is to be New Delhi and a new kingdom. However, there is nothing like that. Death is around everyone's neck. They are making full preparations for death. This is truly the same Mahabharat war that there was 5,000 years ago. The Father says, "This is not a kingdom. This is like a mirage." There is also the example of Draupadi. All of you are Draupadis. You have the Father's orders to conquer those vices. You promise that you will remain constantly pure and make Bharat pure. Those men do not allow you to remain pure. Some incognito gopikas call out so much. They beat us. You know that lust, the great enemy, causes sorrow for human beings from its beginning through the middle to the end. The Father says, you have to conquer this. In the Gita too it says, God speaks. Lust is the great enemy. However, people don't understand this. The Father says, become pure and you will become the kings of kings. Now tell me, do you want to become the kings of kings, or do you want to become impure? In this final birth, the Father says, become pure for my sake. The impure world will be destroyed and the pure world established. For half a cycle you have experienced so much sorrow as a result of drinking poison. Can you not renounce it for one birth? The old world is now to be destroyed and the new world established. In this, only those who become pure and make others pure will claim a high status. This is Raj Yoga. You say that you are Brahma Kumars and Kumaris. Therefore, you are definitely the children of Prajapita Brahma. Brahma is the child of Shiva. It is Shiva who will give you your inheritance. This is the incorporeal God-Fatherly University. It is Shiva who establishes heaven and gives you your inheritance. That God, the Father, the blissful and knowledgeful Father, sits here and teaches you. However, this can only sit in your intellects when your body consciousness is removed. When it is not in their fortune, they are unable to imbibe. You are truly the children of Jagadpita, the World Father. You Brahma Kumars and Kumaris are studying Raj Yoga. Your memorial is also here. It is such a good temple. No one, apart from you children, knows its meaning. They wasted all their money while worshipping and bowing their heads. They have now totally become worth shells. They don't have any grain to eat. They also say, now we don't have so many children. It is not in the power of human beings to say that lust is the greatest enemy. The more they are told to have fewer children, the more children they will have. No one has the power to do anything about this. You children first of all have to explain that this is a God-Fatherly University. God is one. This is the only cycle that continues to turn. These matters have to be understood. The secrets of this spiritual pilgrimage also have to be explained to your friends and relatives. You have been on physical pilgrimages for birth after birth. This spiritual pilgrimage only takes place once. Everyone has to return home. No impure beings will remain here. It is now the time of settlement. Not all of these millions of people will exist in the Golden Age. There will be very few people there. Everyone has to return home. The Father has come to take you back. Until you understand this, you won't remember the sweet home or the land of happiness. It is very easy to remember them. The Father says, "Come to the sweet home. No one apart from me can take you there. I alone am the death of all deaths." He explains so clearly. However, it is a wonder that even after being here for so many years, some are unable to imbibe. Some become very clever, whereas others don't understand anything at all. This doesn't mean that if this is the state of the older ones, then what is going to happen to you? No, not everyone in a school can be number one. It is also number-wise here. You have to explain to everyone that it is now the time to claim your inheritance from the unlimited Father. You have to claim your inheritance of constant happiness for 21 births. So many Brahma Kumars and Kumaris are making effort. It is number-wise. You know that the purifier is the one Father and that all the rest are impure. The Father says the bestower of salvation for all is one. He is the one who establishes heaven. Then only Bharat will remain and everything else will have been destroyed. Even this much doesn't sit in people's intellects. The Father says, "Children, become my helpers, and I will make you into the masters of heaven." When children have courage, the Father helps. It is remembered there are the helpers of God. In fact, that is the physical Salvation Army. You are the true spiritual Salvation Army. You mothers of Bharat, incarnations of Shakti, are the ones who truly salvage the sinking boat of Bharat. You are an incognito army. Shiv Baba is incognito, and his army is also incognito. There is the Shiv Shakti Pandava army. This is the true story of true Narayan, and all the rest are false stories. This is why it is said, "See no evil, hear no evil. Only listen to the things I tell you." This is a big and unlimited school. This is a big and unlimited school. These buildings have been built for this university. At the end, many children will come and stay here. Those who are yog-yukt will come and stay here. They will see destruction with their physical eyes. You, who now see establishment and destruction with divine visions, will then be sitting in heaven with those eyes. A very broad and unlimited intellect is needed for this. The more you remember the Father, the more the locks on your intellects will continue to open. If you indulge in vice, the lock will become completely locked. If you leave school, the knowledge will be completely removed from your intellect. When you become impure, you cannot imbibe anything. Effort is required. This is a college for becoming the masters of the world. You Brahma Kumars and Kumaris are the grandsons and granddaughters of Shiv Baba. You are all making Bharat into heaven. You are spiritual social workers who are making the world pure. The main thing is purity. There was an elevated world, and it is now corrupt. This cycle continues to turn. The sapling of the divine tree is now being planted, and it will gradually continue to grow. Acha. To the sweetest beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the Mother, the Father, Bap-Dada. The spiritual Father says Namaste to the spiritual children, and the spiritual children say Namaste to the spiritual Father. Essence for Dharna. 1. You have to become the true spiritual Salvation Army and salvage Bharat from the vices. Become the Father's helpers and do spiritual social service. 2. Only listen to the truth from the one Father. Hear no evil, see no evil. In order to watch the final scenes with your physical eyes, become Yog-yukt. Blessing. May you become a carefree soul by settling your karmic accounts with happiness instead of getting upset. When someone tells you something, do not instantly get upset. First of all, have it clarified or verified as to what intention it was said. If it was not your mistake, then stay carefree. Remain constantly aware that all accounts with Brahmin souls are to be settled here. In order to be saved from Dharamraj Puri, land of Dharamraj, Brahmins become instruments in one way or another. Therefore, do not be afraid, but settle everything with happiness. Only by doing this will there be progress. Slogan: constantly maintain the awareness, the Father is my world. This is easy yoga. Om Shanti. Elevated versions of Mateshwari Ji. The soundless chant means constant unbroken yoga. When you say Om Shanti, its true meaning is I, a soul, am a child of the Supreme, who is a form of light. I too am a point of light with a form the same as the Supreme's. Otherwise we are saligram children, and so we have to have yoga with our God, that form of light. We have to have yoga with Him and claim our inheritance of light and might from Him. And this is why in the Gita there are the elevated versions of God Himself, man above. Just as I, your Father, am a point of light, so you children also have to stabilize yourselves in that incorporeal form. This is known as the soundless unending chant. The soundless chant means that without having any mantra, you have to stay in natural remembrance of the Supreme. This is known as full yoga. Yoga means to stay in remembrance of the one Yogeshwar, the Supreme Soul. So the souls who stay in remembrance of the Supreme Soul are called yogis and yoginis. Only when you constantly stay in this yoga or remembrance can the burden of your sins be removed, and can new souls become pure, due to which you receive the deity reward in your future birth. Now you need this knowledge, for only then can you have full yoga. So consider yourselves to be souls and stay in remembrance of the Supreme Soul. This is true knowledge. It is only with this knowledge that you can have yoga. Acha.